What's crack, it's VangelinaSkov, and by popular demand, my cat is in fact in the background this time. In yesterday's video, a lot of people were giving out to me for the fact that I said that my cat was lying under the duvet and being very cute, but I didn't show her. But she was sleeping under the duvet. I'm not going to disturb her. But today she climbed into my hoodie that I had wanted to wear and decided to make that her home. So now she's all comfy in there and you see little ears. She was completely in it for a while, but now she's not. Anyway, safe to say I couldn't wear the hoodie, nor could I remove her from that space. So that's where she is today. Everybody say hi, Stradivarius. Hi. But to get on with the actual topic of today's video, we're going to be talking about Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson. And just petty drama. But you know, my opinion is that it's petty. You can think whatever you want. I need a t-shirt that says you can think whatever you want. Anyway, after a couple of tweets from Oscar Wilde, no, not the writer, it looks like Jeffree had thought about dropping Shane recently, like Jeffree is allegedly known to do with a lot of his friends. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about that. And it just is what it is. I don't have an adjective for it. It just is, guys. Anyway, before we get into that, please subscribe and click the bell button to get notifications when I upload. And if you would like to, you can also check out the Patreon or the memberships with the links in the description where you can get extra benefits and stuff and fun things and yay! That was a terrible description. Anyway, let's talk about Shane and Jeffree. Okay, so quick catch up of what's actually going on up until now, and you probably know already if you keep up with my videos and or you keep up with weird internet drama in general. I say weird like this isn't the mainstream internet drama. So, Trisha had a fight with a hairdresser, Hair by J. Hair by J is Jeffree Star's hairdresser. They had a fight because they had a dispute over some money. Not the most important aspect of that story, but what is important is that Trisha said on a trip with Jeffree and Hair by J and some other people, they were all horrible to her, bullied her, and just said some really, really mean things to her. She also blocked Shane and Ryland because they were continuing to support Jeffree Star even after all the very serious allegations against him and the less serious allegations too. The serious allegations are things we will not get into in this video, but the less serious ones are obviously things to do with Trisha and him just being apparently a very mean person. Now, Shane and Trisha have been friends for years, and for the last couple of years, Jeffree and Shane have been almost inseparable, with Shane making 2 docuseries on him, making a whole makeup collection with him, doing his merch with him, and it seemed like they were really, really good friends. But now it's looking like Jeffree might have been looking to cut ties with Shane after Tati's video a couple of months ago. Now, if you don't know what this video is, Tati Westbrook uploaded a video where she said that Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star had manipulated her into making her Bye Sister video, in which she said that James Charles was a bad person. Are you keeping up? It's a lot of he said, she said, they did this, and oh dear, everybody mad at each other. Now in that video she did say that Shane had done most of the manipulating and that she just felt terrible about how everything had happened. And Shane responded to this by screaming on an Instagram live and making a fool of himself. And yeah, I've also made a video on that, so you can check that one out. Link should be in the description if I remember to do that. Sometimes I forget and people get mad at me, just like, shh. But according to some tweets by Oscar Wilde, it's looking like after this whole thing happened with Tati, Jeffree was trying to decide when it was best to cut ties with Shane. I am gonna say, I think I'm getting old, because when people were saying Oscar Wilde was saying this thing, I was wondering how a writer had risen from the dead to talk about Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star, which apparently is not the case. There's somebody else called Oscar Wilde, spelt with a Y instead of an I in Wilde. So not the same person, for anybody who is as confused as I am. Oscar Wilde, the writer, does not have a Twitter account and is still dead. So he said, yeah, I've been too kind and kept my mouth shut for too long, but the only thing I will say publicly right now is that yes, I physically was asked by Jeffree, at what point do I cut ties with Shane? Like, this is more than 3 strikes. Literally the day after Tati filmed her video. Basically Jeffree saying, yeah, I have a certain amount of things I will take from my friends, and after that I think it's time to end it. And Oscar also said, I'm not trying to bring people into this, but I truly feel my kindness or empathy was taken advantage of, and I just feel bad for the fact that Trisha lost a friend for siding with someone I physically watched say what they said. Simple as that. So saying that he's really sorry that Trisha is no longer friends with Shane and can't be friends with Shane because Shane decided to side with Jeffree after Jeffree had said all this horrible stuff about Trisha, and that it's all made worse by the fact that Jeffree was saying he was planning to cut ties with him. And Trisha decided to respond to this as well, saying, "Thank you for speaking up and saying something. My credibility is always questioned these days, and as someone who was there, not on the payroll, I appreciate your voice in this. It's beyond Mean Girls drama. It's some traumatizing that I still haven't gotten over." Now, Oscar Wilde also had some other stuff to say, but I'm just going to leave that clip in for you here.
To address everything right off the bat, no, Jeffree did not just straight say, like, I do not want to be friends with Shane anymore. It was more of just friends sitting in a kitchen talking, and him addressing the elephant in the room, which was that day Tati bringing up the situation and Shane going on live and basically kind of having a meltdown, in which he was just like, at what point do I, cut ties, saying like, the video, the cat video. Like, I remember there was a bunch of videos that had surfaced, and he kind of just was like, I wasn't aware of all this stuff. Like, we had just done a palette, basically making me kind of shocked because I thought they were a little closer than that. And he was just like, this is strike one, strike two, that's just very vivid. That conversation, the strikes were very vivid in my my recollection to everything, just because I just remember thinking to myself, like, dang, like I just would never leave a friend like that.
Now, clearly, if Jeffree did say this to Oscar, saying, I'm not sure when is the best time to cut ties with Shane, clearly that has not happened. At least not publicly. Again, not that long ago, Jeffree was on Ryland's podcast and Shane was there. So it's safe to say that more than likely things are probably okay with them. Albeit after these tweets coming out, I don't know. But nothing has happened publicly. And the question is Jeffree Star still planning to cut ties with Shane even after everything that's happened? Even though Shane is one of the few people who are still willing to stick up for Jeffree, despite the fact that that might not be the best decision to make. And if Jeffree is planning this or was planning this, was he planning to make a big show out of it and get some publicity, or was he just going to do it quietly and move on and hope for the best? I don't know. But do let me know what you think about all of that. I would love to hear if you think that Jeffree is planning to do this and how he was planning to do it. Again, Jeffree hasn't said anything about this. Shane hasn't said anything about this. Shane hasn't said anything about anything for several eons now. For now, I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see if anything does happen, or if these tweets are even true at all. A lot of people would be on the side of believing Oscar, but then a lot of people have come out and said, well, there's no evidence of this, so we can't really just take your word for it. But whatever you believe, that's up to you. Anyway, do let me know down in the comments what you think about all of this, and if you don't want to comment about that, then please comment about how cute my cat is, because comments help my engagement. Thank you very much. Anyway, that's gonna be it for me for now. So as I said at the start, wait, no, this is very important, very serious. I think when I say my intro, you guys just sort of start to zone out because you've heard it a million times. No, subscribe, like the video, turn on notifications, and you know what? Check out the benefits on the Patreon or the memberships to see if you're interested in getting those benefits and if you want to join them. Please. And thank you. And another thing before I go, I want to start doing shoutouts sort of randomly, because if I say I'm going to do it this often or that often, I'll forget to do it that often because I have no concept of time, and then I'll get mad at myself and other people will get mad at me. So I'm just going to do them whenever I think of them. And to start off the shoutouts is obviously going to be my girl, Megan McGrath. You can check out her channel with the link in the description. She's starting a new vlogging series because she has moved to the UK for her master's degree, in which she is doing human osteology and paleopathology. I can usually say that perfectly, but I kind of stumbled over that the first time I said it. Anyway, she's just documenting her whole moving process, settling in college, and it would be fantastic if we could get her to 300 subscribers. Please and thank you. Keep an eye out for more shoutouts in the future. I'm gonna start doing these because it's a nice thing to do, and I don't know why I'm not doing it already. Anyway, yes, I already said the subscribe stuff, so follow me on social media. Please follow me on social media, and have a wonderful day. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.